Come on in, you guys. We have a brand new episode of Jimmy Rants in store for you here today. JimmyRants.com is the website. And if you want to join in on the fun, you got to go follow me over on Instagram. I am at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Once you are there, engage live. Just like Texas Livingston and Keto Neogenesis, Coastal Mom, so many other people coming in right now watching this live. You can also watch it over on YouTube and Facebook. We're simulcasting there as well. But this is the main part of the show. We come to you guys here at Instagram. I started this show, what was it, about almost 2 years ago as an Instagram show, and it will always be an Instagram show. But we also simulcast on other formats. If you missed the live on Instagram, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. After 24 hours, it does disappear, so be sure to pop on over to JimmyRants.com. That's where we will always have the past episodes in archived form for you. We also throw them up over on YouTube, so shout out to all my YouTubers. Thanks for being here today on Jimmy Rants. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys about something that has really honestly been on my heart for a little while. And this is going to be full-on rant mode today, because I think there is something incredibly disturbing going on in the keto community. And I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but there's just so many really incredibly disturbing things happening behind the scenes of keto, carnivore. It just seems like there is this constant bickering and backbiting and fighting over this and that. And it hasn't just started. It's been happening for a little while. But people are getting fed up with it. Fed up to the point that they're just totally getting out of the way of these communities. And when I'm talking about people, I'm talking about good people, like people that were involved heavily in the keto message, and people that were on the rise, and people that were doing incredible work, all for the sake of the cause. And they've been driven away by the negativity, whether they see all the bickering happening or whether they themselves start getting exposed to some of the hate. And I know that hate is just a part of the online world in every factor of society, not just the diet world. But it's a reality. And I think a lot of people, they live in a little bit of a Pollyanna-ish world if they don't know that this stuff is going on. Well, somebody has been in this space for 15 years, can tell you all about the ins and outs of the hate that happens online. I mean, I pretty much have been exposed to it because I am not the normal health guru, health person. I don't look the part. You're supposed to have six-pack if you're a guy in the health space, you're supposed to have six-pack abs. You're supposed to have a GQ look with a certain jawline. You're supposed to speak clearly. You're supposed to be able to flex your muscles with no shirt on. I'm not taking my shirt off. You're supposed to just have all your ducks in a row. Because if your chosen diet plan and your chosen workout plan is working for you, you gotta look the part. And if you don't, then you get all the judgy people. If you're a girl, you better be hot as all get out, got boobs sticking out, butt popping, muscles, but not too many muscles. It's just such an unfair expectation in the health world that you have to look a certain way. Now, that's an aside note to what I'm talking about here today, because the main point of what I'm talking about here today is I want to focus in on one individual that was a rising star in the low-carb keto space just 5 years ago. 5 years ago, we saw this guy from the South start making videos. And he put out his very first video. I remember he sent it to me. He said, "Hey, can you help me get the word out about this video that I made all about my keto journey?" And I'm like, okay, let me go look. And I turn it on, and here is this guy, Bob Briggs, going on camera. You could see him reading from like a screen, and he was reading like all his story. You could tell he wrote it all out, but he was so articulate and so folksy and so down to earth. And his famous video was called Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. Butter makes your pants fall off and lard makes you lean. And he just had that really charming Southern accent and people were attracted to it. And that video today, if you go over to YouTube, it's there right now, Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. And he became affectionately known as Butter Bob. If you go right now, it's got 1.5 million views. Dude was well on his way to superstardom in this space. And he was making all kind of education videos. Those of you, I shared about this earlier today on my social media channel, and a lot of people, I wondered what happened to Bob because he was my influence to get into keto, and then I found you, Jimmy, and da-da-da-da-da. And so he was making a difference, you guys. This is the thing that's disturbing me a lot. Because we have a very wholesome, great, influential person like Bob Briggs, Butter Bob, getting in this space, sharing, educating, doing all the things. And he was driven out of the keto community. Like, totally gone. Suddenly, without warning, just left. Now, I know some things that happened behind the scenes with him. He tragically lost a grandbaby that was a little baby. The baby died. And so I knew he was going through that. But I think in the reflection over what was happening in his life because of this family tragedy, it made him evaluate the kind of stuff he was dealing with. And what he was dealing with was intense, negative energy, hatred, personal attacks against him. And then again, seeing all this bickering happening within the keto space. And of course, in his mind, he was just there trying to educate, share from his experience. He always made it clear, I'm not a doctor or nothing. I'm just some Joe Schmo out here just trying to tell you what worked for me. But it got to him. It got to be really, really bad. To the point that he just up and left the community. Now that was 5 years ago. And over those 5 years, people have often written to me and say, if you heard from Butter Bob, do you know what happened to him? He was so influential. I love him. And I had written to him a few times. Primarily, he's on Facebook. So if you look up Bob Briggs on Facebook, he is back on Facebook now. But he left for a long time. He's not back in the keto space because, quite frankly, he says it's too judgmental and too many people fighting over things that don't matter, and then all the negative stuff that he gets. And so I reached out to him right before I left on sabbatical. And he sent me this really nice note that said, hey, I'm okay. I just had to get away. I see you're about to go away too. Love you, brother. Hope everything goes well with your sabbatical. So that was kind of how that went. So then I get back from sabbatical on March the 1st, and people are writing me again. Hey, where's Butter Bob? Where's Butter Bob? Where's Butter Bob? So I put out something online that said, hey, those of you missing Butter Bob, just know that he's okay. He is alive, but he's not really active in the keto space. So I had put on Facebook that my theory was that the loss of this grandchild really shook him, and that he didn't recover from that. Because he wasn't talking, so we had to assume. And word to the wise, anybody that gets famous online and you just go away, if you don't tell us why you're gone, they're all gonna make up reasons why you're gone. If I just suddenly stopped doing Jimmy rants, I'm sure there will be rumors of he keeled over from a heart attack, he got kidnapped by alien. I mean, there'll be all kind of little rumors that would go out there if I just suddenly went away after doing daily shows. I'm not going anywhere though. If I ever do go, something bad happened. So leave it to your own devices what happened. I will tell you goodbye if I actually leave the community like Bob did. But he did respond recently on Facebook where I was surmising that this tragic loss of his grandchild is what drove him away. And so he responded, and I want to read some of this to you. Hello, Jimmy and everyone else. I'm alive and well. I love you, Jimmy, very much and always will because you shared my video, The Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off, when it first came out. You are truly a good-hearted person, was very kind to me after my grandson passed. But that was not the reason why I stopped making videos. I made many videos right around that same time. What made me stop was the online community in keto became super toxic. We saw it in politics, but then even in the low-carb keto community, it broke into all these warring camps. I live my life in peace. There's no way I wanted to participate in any of that negativity. I left my videos up on YouTube, and they're still there today because they have helped so many people, and they still help people. But I refuse to debate every little study or tell people my way is the only way. Life is bigger than diet, and the main thing I wanted to get across to people was making big changes has more to do with your beliefs about what is possible than it does about the exact way you do it. Seeing a guy like me lose that weight without all the stuff the keto community argues about proves that point. The best part about technology is my videos will just stay there, hopefully to encourage people for a long time to come. And I thought that was so well written, so well said, that his heart was only educating. And can I tell you, as someone who's been a content provider for 15 plus years now, that's always been my heart. I just want to educate people. I just want people to get off crappy garbage and to start caring about themselves. And for Bob, he started eating butter, and he started feeling better and having fat and minimizing his carbs, and he did well. And he shared lots and lots and lots of videos that explained how his health and everything has gotten better as a direct result of embracing kind of a lower carb ketogenic diet. Why do we have to make this an argument? And I posted something on Instagram on my stories the other day that is very true. And it said something along the lines of, when somebody is asking you for all the citations that support everything you have to say, they come onto like a post you write, and, oh, you need to give me the scientific evidence and the studies that support what you're saying, blah, 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 blah. And it said something about, hey, bro, I only know you like 12 seconds, and I really don't like what I'm seeing already. You go do your own research. If someone says something on a post or in a video like I'm doing right here that doesn't quite sound right, go look it up yourself. Like, it's not my job as a content provider to make every little recitation of every citation that you want to support every single view. This is simply me sharing. And what Bob did very brilliantly, if you've never watched his videos, go look up Butter Bob on YouTube and you'll see some incredible videos. But it was obviously lots of anecdotal because he's sharing from his own experience, but he did his homework. Don't let the Southern accent fool you. Do-Man is highly, highly intelligent. I guess when you have a Southern accent and you talk like this, people think you're stupid. Yeah, try telling me I'm stupid. I will put you in your place. But that's what he had to deal with. People were just constantly, well, you have no evidence to support a high-fat diet, blah, blah, blah. And you would think, okay, he's getting it from vegans. Okay, great. Vegans hate what he has to say. He's getting it from the low-fat diet apologists. Okay, low-fat diet apologists, they don't like him pushing fat. You're getting it from the people that believe in the calorie hypothesis. Okay, yeah. But when it started happening in the low-carb space, the ketogenic space, that's when it crossed the line for Bob. And quite frankly, Bob looks great. For his age, everything, he's thin, everything's great. And so he dealt with this. For me, I get it a lot from the keto community of, you don't look the part, you're a disgrace to the keto message because you're not an Adonis and you should be. And I just keep thinking, okay, do I add no value simply because you prejudge me for what the outside looks like? So I get where Bob's coming from. And I can tell you, I get some intense hatred. If I shared every day what I got, it would make most of you blush. And you would just like, oh my God, you deal with that on a daily basis? Yes, I do. And it's a great unspoken in this community. It's not just Jimmy Moore, it's Maria Emmerich, It's Suzanne Ryan, Keto Karma is the Keto Connect guy. You name the famous person in the keto space, and we're getting some major hate. And I see it here on Instagram. I see it here on YouTube. I see it here on Facebook. It runs rampant. And of course, as soon as you say that you get negative stuff and you put it out there, people always go, well, you should just ignore all that. It's just, they're not your real fans, and therefore you should pay attention to people that say positive stuff. The problem is, we're people. We're people that have hearts. We're people that feel. And when you get inundated by it on a daily basis, tell someone who's exposed to something every single day, and I have been for over a decade, pretty much every single day. You should see the stuff that came in while I was gone on sabbatical. I wasn't looking at anything, and I get back, and then here's all this stuff just waiting on me. How do you unsee that? Now, I've learned over the years to compartmentalize it. Okay, this person is obviously having some issues in their own life, and they're projecting it on me. So I get all that, and people always, oh, don't let it get to you. I don't. I wouldn't have survived this long had I let those things get to me. Now, early on, it did. Early on, that stuff was real, man. I was 2007, 8, 9. I'm just going, oh my God, this ain't worth it. I almost gave it all up way back then, just because why am I getting attacked so much? So I understand why Bob left. It's intense, you guys. And of course, the thing that really bothers me too is there's a lot of people that get in this space, and that drives them away right when they're making a difference. Like Butter Bob, 1.5 million views on one video that is educating about eating fat to be healthy. That's major. And he could be doing so much in that realm. Look at all of the talent that we lost just from this one person deciding to walk away because it got to be too toxic for him. And what I want to know is how many people would be in this space if they didn't fear the same kind of attacks coming at them. Because, quite frankly, not everybody can handle negative energy. Not everybody can handle being attacked. And I don't know how well I handle it. Obviously, I still have weight on the body. I sometimes wonder if I just totally got out of this and removed myself from all of it and just stepped away, could I let go of this weight that's kind of plagued me in my belly forever? I don't know. But I can tell you it is a daily thing I deal with. And the moment that we pretend like those things aren't happening, and people just expect their favorite keto and online people that they go to all the time to just keep being there and keep being abused, because quite frankly, that's what it is. It's abuse. Bob got tired of the abuse, and he walked away. And I can't tell you I haven't thought about walking away many times, because it's just so freaking ugly. And you can't just ignore it. Please do. I know that's a well-meaning advice, but don't tell someone just ignore it. I can tell you for Maria Emmerich, she's got 2 kids that she adopted from Africa. And she gets racist stuff thrown at her about her kids. That's disgusting. Yeah, there's really bad vulgarness out there. And I think it's good for the community to know this is happening. And it's one thing I've said many times. Rally around those people that you find great support from. It's so easy to just take advantage of people that are putting out good content that you enjoy. And I hear from so many of you guys often, so thank you for that. That you tell me how much Jimmy Rants means to you, and you appreciate my work and read my books and da-da-da. Thank you for that. Keep doing that kind of stuff, not just for me, but for the people that influence you, because if they're an influencer in this space, they are getting hate. I can guarantee you, even the most buff-looking person, those people, I'm thinking about Fit to Fat to Fit, Drew Manning. Dude is like a stud. He gets, all these exercise videos, and he's amazing. I love the guy. But I'm sure he gets people to say, well, you never had a weight problem. What are you talking about? Keto, you're just in this for the money. There are always going to be people that will find a reason to hate on you. And I think when you get that, you need to counterbalance it. And I believe there are far, far more people that support than don't support. The problem is the negative stuff evokes a deeper kind of feeling. At least I'm speaking from personal experience here. When I get a negative one, I just kind of go, really? Like, I'm like the most unassuming person you'll ever meet. I'm tall, but I'm just like a big teddy bear. And yet there's people that see me and they see someone. I've been accused of all kinds of things. I'm a shyster. I sneak donuts and only wrote keto books to make a lot of money. I am a fraud. I mean, you name it. I've been called all these things, and those are the nicest things they say about me. I can only imagine what Bob got, and of course his Southern accent didn't help either. I get made fun of with that quite a bit. Well, you're just a country bumpkin. You don't know anything. You're so stupid. And it's like, okay, great. So I followed up with Bob and thanked him for that. And I told him, hate's going to be out there. When you love people, you feel, you care. It's hard not to feel those negative comments. So I get why you left, and that we weren't meant to be under that constant negativity, and we weren't. So he was kind enough to write back one more time. He said, I've never seen anyone take the type of abuse that you've had to endure, talking about me. It's probably why you stepped away on sabbatical. There is not another person who's done more to get the information out to the world about low-carb diets. Living La Vida Low Carb podcast changed my life. Believe me, when I first found you, I was in a really dark place. At that time, I was depressed because my wife had just passed away. The biggest problem I see with people is they think it's about all the pounds lost, but it's not really about that at all. Some people, for a lot of reasons, might not ever lose a pound, but they get hope in their heart that they can find health again. My videos are all about hope, not beating you up for not crossing every T or dotting every I. Social media has brought out information sharing like never before in the history of mankind, but it's also highlighted the hatefulness that people used to keep to themselves. Very few people would dare say to someone's face what they write online. So we've been allowed to meet each other, some really cool people out there we never would have been able to because of social media. As for me, I've taken my new can-do attitude and I have a new startup, a small plant nursery business that he does. So that's what he's doing now, you guys. I love working with plants, watching them grow. I think we can all benefit from getting our hands dirty, spending more time. He also, and it got cut off at the bottom of this, he also said that he's trying to be proactive at forcing positivity. I thought that was kind of a cool phrase, that his new mantra is forced positivity, because in this world that we're living in, we have a lot of forced negativity. There's so many people spreading negative. I mean, you could say the most uplifting, encouraging thing on social media. You could put it out there with only the intention of uplifting and encouraging people, and somebody will find something negative to say about it. And here's the thing that happens too. Once one person infuses negativity into a discussion, then you get what I call the Me Tooism. So it's the echo chamber. So when one person puts out a negative thing, oh yeah, I believe that too. Oh yeah, and it starts cascading and becoming worse and worse and worse. And I think we as good people, and I think most of you guys watching right now, you're not a part of the problem. You're part of what will be the solution to this. We all need to be forced positivity. We all need to stay and take the high road. We all need to not allow these people to have a voice that penetrates into the hearts and minds of people like Butter Bob or Jimmy Moore or Drew Manning or any of the people that are in leadership in this space. Let's rally around them. Give them support. Give them positivity. Reinforce. If something moves you about the people that you follow, say something. Write comments. And the bad part is once a negative comment gets out there, you got this negative energy. So then people that are fans of yours then want to go and defend you, and it becomes this kind of pissing match. And I don't think that serves any good purpose. And it serves me no good purpose to just willy-nilly also try to respond to all the negativity. Like literally, if I responded to everything negative said about me, that's literally all I could do all day. I couldn't do any Jimmy rants, couldn't write books, couldn't do podcasts. I would just be responding to the negativity. And quite frankly, I don't have time for that. So say all the negative things you want about Jimmy Moore. Say all the negative things you want about your favorite person in this space. But just know, okay, you had your say. Good job. Thank you for telling me I'm fat. Good job, Captain Obvious. But now do something positive. And if they choose not to do something positive, then that's their choice. And that's what they choose to do. I choose to stay above it. I choose to keep doing my work. I come on this camera almost every single day and do a new video. I'm not hiding. Butter Bob, he was not hiding either. Butter Bob was out there doing his thing and doing good work. And no good deed goes unpunished is how the saying goes. And unfortunately, the casualty of that is Butter Bob's not making videos anymore. But I'd be danged if they're going to shut Jimmy Moore up or other people. So just let this be a reminder here today that if you didn't already know, a lot of us were getting this kind of negative response. A lot of people won't talk about it. And you guys know I'm not afraid to talk about anything. And I think it's good context for us to always remember those people you love that provide good information, they are getting hated on hard. And if they're getting hated on hard, it is incumbent upon you, if you love them, to love on them just as hard. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean I want you to flood me with a bunch of love. Thank you for that if you're going to do that. But I think Maria Emmerich definitely needs to be loved on hard. Keto Karma, Suzanne Ryan needs to be loved on hard. All these people that are your favorite Keto Connect guys, everybody that you love in this community, please share with them how much you love them and appreciate them, because I guarantee you they're getting a lot of hate. All right, let's see what you guys have to say. We're going to come to Instagram Live first, then over to Facebook Live, and then if we have time, we will go to you guys here on YouTube Live as well. Thank you all for being here today on Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. George says, I love Butter Bob. Yeah, Bob is one of those really cool guys, and I got to talk to him personally on the phone back in 2015 when he made the Butter Makes Your Pants Fall Off. I brought him on one of my podcasts that year, and I invited him to come on the Low Carb Cruise. And then shortly after his grandbaby died is when everything just went south. So that was sad. Miss Twiggy, it's unfortunate. He seemed like a good man. He is a very, very good man. Sam says, Bob is right, though butter will make your pants fall off. Yeah, he is very right about that. And you gotta say it like that. Butter makes your pants fall off. Like when I had him on my podcast, it was one of my, I think it was, at the time it was Low Carb Conversations. I was still doing that podcast. And so he was on as a guest, and I couldn't help myself. Like, butter makes your pants fall off. I just had to keep kind of do it in a fake Southern accent. Brittany says, oh yeah, people hear my Southern accent and have no idea just how deep my knowledge is. Oh, you're not just deep in knowledge, Brittany. You are very wise on a lot of levels. Brittany says, this is one of the biggest reasons I've avoided starting YouTube. The hate there is so strong. Oh, girl. YouTube, is the hate strong here? Yeah, it's strong, but I don't let the YouTube haters, and in fact, by the way, long before social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter all came around, it was Facebook, or YouTube, excuse me. And on YouTube, we used to make videos. I did this show called Living La Vida Low Carb on YouTube. Even before I had a podcast, I did that. And yeah, we got so much like negativity. I'm going, wow. Like it was a precursor to what was to come on social media. But don't let that hold you back, Brittany. Don't make me come down there where you live and slap you. Make those videos, girl. She's definitely got good stuff to say, so you should do that. Kelly says, I feel like this is way worse during this pandemic. Is it true for you? Well, Kelly, yeah, I mean, I've had the negativity for so long. it does seem like the COVID-19 stuff has put people more on edge. And so maybe that edginess is what we're seeing. And in that edginess, it makes people go cray. So yeah, I think there probably is something to that, Kelly. All right, thank you guys. Let's see, somebody left a comment. Tell us, please, if you eat zero carb. Well, I eat mostly carnivore, so it's kind of hard to eat carbs if you eat mostly meat. So yes, I do eat mostly zero carb. Thank you. All right, thank you, Instagram. We're going to come over here to my Facebook page. Hey, guys, what's going on? See what you guys have to say about this topic. Rock cheer. Used to watch Butter Bob. Love him, says Patty. Yeah, I mean, literally nothing about Bob's work was controversial or negative in any way. He's just a good old boy that wanted to share about his experience. I think he lost like 140 pounds eating a high-fat, low-carb diet. And yeah, so I mean, he was doing such good work. And like I said, that butter makes pants fall off. That was like a huge catapult to superstardom. Like if he'd kept that going today, he would be one of the biggest YouTubers in the entire community. And he still is, even though he's been gone for 5 years. His videos are just impactful, but I would love to see more from him. Christine also says he was amazing. He really was. Teresa said, I love Bob. Everybody loves Bob. Mitzi said, I just messaged him today. He seems to be doing well. Yes. Yes, he is. Teresa says, yes, I find the ones with southern accents are not only book smart, but also have common sense. We're pretty smart when we start talking. We don't sound so smart, but we're pretty smart in the end. Patty says, I'm glad you're still here for us. You're one of the few people that help stay on course. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Janet says, I hate to say this. Some people are full of the devil. I'm so glad, though, Butter Bob is still around. Yeah, he's still around, still doing his thing, just not in the keto space. And quite frankly, I don't blame him. I've felt some of that negativity myself, like I said, over the years. So it's unfortunate that people will simply prejudge you based on how you look and what they think you should look like. But that's just what it is. Norma says, if it wasn't for you, I would be dead right now, Jimmy. You were my lifesaver when I found you. You were my light at the end of the tunnel. Suicide was my first thought, and then I found you and Dr. Barry. My life has changed dramatically because of keto, not a diet, but a life. Thank you. I will always be indebted. That is very sweet, Norman. I'm so glad you're still here. Rhonda says, forced positivity. I love it. It's time to do it. Rhonda, I think that is the message here. If they're going to be putting out a lot of negativity and forcing their way into our hearts and minds, then we need to force positivity. So I love that. When he said force positivity, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much what I do here on Jimmy Rants, what I pretty much do in all of my work. So it's time we step up. David said, I remember your really old YouTube videos with all the sound effects. Yeah, I was kind of silly in my old Livin' La Vida Low Carb on YouTube videos. I would make voices and do silly noises, and yeah. I was learning how to like edit videos at the time, and so it was a precursor to learning how to edit audio for podcasting. But yeah, those were the days. And yeah, much younger. I had more hair then. And if you go look up my videos on YouTube, you'll see I did have a blonde streak there for a little while. I did like the platinum blonde hair for a period of time. I'm trying to think, did I? And I think I spiked it. Yeah, it'll be really funny if you go look at those. Teresa says, sometimes it's hard to stay on course when the weight doesn't come off, and I'm feeling the aches and pains. What keeps you going on days like that? Well, that is a general question, but it's a great question. What keeps me going is I don't worry about my weight anymore. I only focus on my health markers, and those have been doing spectacular, Teresa. And I know it's easy to let yourself get discouraged and only want to put it on the weight, but to me, I would much rather have healthiness in my blood work than and be a little bit of weight on the body still, than to have a perfectly thin body but I die because I have unhealthfulness in my blood work. Like I would rather have triglycerides under 100, HDL over 50, inflammation low, insulin low, blood sugar low, with a little bit of a belly, than to have high blood sugar, high insulin, high inflammation, high triglycerides, low HDL, and one tick away from dying of a heart attack and be perfectly thin. That's just my take on that. Rhonda says it's got to be good to know you're stronger than all the hate and still do so much good. I won't lie, Rhonda, it does get challenging some days because I come on here and I'm only trying to do good and try to help people and spread a positive message, just like Bob. And I will tell you, some days it does get a little bit hairy, and I do have those moments. And so usually when I get moments like that, I'll open my DM here on Instagram, or I'll read an email or something where somebody says something really, really nice about my work, and it just like brightens my day instantly. So again, reach out to those people who are influencing your life that you love the most. All right, let's come over here to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for being here. All right. Whoa, look at all them comments. All right, let's see. Is this a YouTube Live? It is a YouTube Live. Thanks for being here, Johnny. I don't go to Instagram. Was going to ask you for YouTube Lives. Well, here I am. I've been doing these lately, the past few days. Mike says, I don't understand how people can be so unkind. Why do they care how someone looks? I appreciate you being here. I was just listening to Kelly Hogan talking about people being rotten. Yeah, if you're famous somewhat online, you're going to get hate. Selena, I love all the great help you've given me through your podcast. Thank you for that. Shirley says, people are the worst sometimes. Just goes to show you how they feel about themselves. That's all it's about. Cindy says, I started keto because of Butter Bob. Back in 2016, 2017, my dad died and I ballooned up again. Well, hopefully you've gotten back on track. I gave up my keto groups because all they wanted was dessert recipes. I told them they couldn't eat that way, and they just kept arguing with me. Well, that's sad. Kathleen wants to know who was Butter Bob. Kathleen, go look up the video right here on YouTube. Butter makes your pants fall off, and you'll get all you ever wanted to know about Butter Bob. So, he's still alive, so let's don't talk about him in the past tense. Bob Briggs is his name. Very, very much alive. Good guy, but no longer making videos. All right, let's come back to Instagram, see if there's any final comments before we pop off of this Jimmy Rants here today. There is not. So I guess we said what we had to say. So thank you guys for being here. I hope today's Jimmy Rants is a reminder that we all have a part to play in this solution to this issue we're talking about, the negative impact of these the online hate. It drove Bob Briggs, Butter Bob, away, and it drives a lot of people away. I know a lot of people. I hear the chatter, you guys, behind the scenes. I get a lot of people writing to me that are leaders in this space and various people that are up and comers, and they always come to me because they know I've been around, that I'm the dinosaur in this community. I've been around the block or two here, and they're always like, how do you handle all this negativity all the time? And I tell them, you don't pay attention to it. You absorb it, yeah, I guess you're going to get influenced by it a little bit, yeah, but at the end of the day, that is a small percentage of the grand total of people that follow your work. I know all of you watching this right now, just about every single one of you. You're here because you love what I have to say and you get some benefit out of it. That's why you're here. Otherwise, why are you here? And the people that write the negativity, they're following just for the sole purpose of stirring up some crap. And, you know, when appropriate, if I find people are out of line and they're saying things that are ugly, you know, block delete is a very favorite little maneuver of mine. And I can do that on my pages. I have to do it quite a bit on YouTube. I get some ugly, ugly comments sometimes on YouTube. And if you simply disagree, that's not an ugly comment. Disagreement, sometimes it's a little bit not tactful the way it's disagreed, but Yeah, you can disagree without being disagreeable, I guess is the way to put it. But there are people that are just plain personal attacking, and that should never be tolerated. That's abuse. I don't think anybody should have to put up with personal attack. And I get those kind of things all the time. You're fat, you should go die. And I've had it with this COVID-19 lately. They're like, well, you better not get COVID-19 because you will die tomorrow if you get it. And I'm like, gee, that's nice. Thank you. Because they assume with my fat on my body that I'm unhealthy. T. Schwindel says, thanks for taking the abuse, keeping the encouragement coming for those of us who appreciate you, all the content you provide. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going anywhere. If this was going to impact me in a negative way, I think I would have already gone by now. Like, you don't survive 15 years if you take to heart every little thing that is said about you. So thank you for that. But yeah, I'm not going anywhere. What a wonderful way to spend my Sunday catching you live. Thank you for your time and talent. I met you in person in Berkeley, California back in 2015. I remember that. I did a book signing at that restaurant, the Paleo restaurant. That's right. I remember that. I remember the hotel I stayed at in Berkeley, California. It was right across from UC Berkeley. That was a scary part of town. I remember the hotel had like big gates and bars up so people couldn't come in. Anyway, it was a scary part of town. But I do remember that, Jacqueline. Thanks for reminding me of that. But yeah, we're always going to have the hate out there. But let's make positivity louder. Let's shout it from the mountaintops that we don't want that. And let's encourage each other and encourage the people that are giving you value in your life. That's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com is the website. As always, you can engage live in the content, but you got to go follow me. I'm over on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVINLOWCARBMAN. Once you are there, we do go live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern. Sometimes we throw in 5 p.m. Eastern during the week, and sometimes on the weekends. I've been slack lately at the 5 p.m. ones during the week, so I've given you bonus ones here on the weekend the last couple weeks. So thank you for being here today. If you missed the live, you can watch it on replay for up to 24 hours. We also simulcast on both my Facebook page and on YouTube live as well. You can watch it on replay at jimmyrants.com, and we also throw all the past episodes over on YouTube. So pop on over there, type in a keyword Jimmy Rants, you will find the show. So guys, that's it for now. Until next time, we'll see you then. And we are out.